A second. Preparing to live stream the meeting. Well, you guys are diehards, you know. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So now we're going to do a pony evaluation. And this pony was foundered, or was she? And that
she has laminitis.
Yep, laminitis.
The x-rays we talked about probably a month ago now. And a week ago, maybe more now, I can't remember. I posted pictures and you said you would map them because there aren't any, I don't know what measurements to use to map a pony foot. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. See, and I don't know what measurements either because I've never used measurements. What I
know, and I didn't even know. That's why I said, I measured the, the lateral walls or the side walls, from the center of the bone, not the foot, because, if you measure 2 inches back from the dorsal wall, you're,
yeah,
not on the sidewall. So
just a minute here. Oh, I got to close out some windows. So hold on just a minute because I have many open. Let's see. Let's get rid of you and let's get rid of you and let's get rid of you. I get so many things open. Truth is a wonderful thing. But it's also got its bitter pill, I'll tell you. Let's see here. Okay, I stopped sharing there. Now I'm going to go find the pictures. Where do I find them again?
They are on, the regular discussion page.
Okay.
And probably the easiest way to do is search on NESSA, Nessa.
Okay. Just a minute here.
And years ago, there was a page, Linda, where we were supposed to take pictures and put them, a page specifically for the pictures. Do you still have that page?
I don't think so.
Okay, because that's why, I don't know where to put the pictures when I take them, so I just post them.
Yeah, I'm so bummed about that because that was a forum that I had for quite a while.
Yeah.
And what happened was I had to cancel. I was paying for it through my debit card. And then I had to cancel my debit card and I never read my email. And they kept emailing me that they were going to cancel that out. And I never saw it. And then they ended my page. I'm real sorry.
So you lost all of that data. Yeah. That's a shame. So is there a new place? Because originally, way back then, you wanted all those pictures and measurements and everything, like, for research, for proof of what you're doing. So is there a new place to post these pictures, or do we always just post them in the discussion group? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm putting them where you want them.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I barely can keep track of my own.
Yeah, well, that's,
I've always had, here's the deal. I always had good intentions, but I am really bad at organizing, really bad. I mean,
Hey, I stink at all of the electronic stuff. So, I don't even, I've still not forced myself to sit down and figure out how to hoof map on the computer. I don't even know, what program do you all use to do the hoof mapping on the computer?
I use Paint.
Paint.
Okay. Yeah.
I learned how to do Paint on one of the early Hoof Chats way back in 2018. That's the only way I learned how to do it.
Let's see here. We could do that one of these days if you would like. Just kind of show you the basics of Paint.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so is there a search? Yeah, okay. So Nessa, Nessa?
Yes.
Oh, here we are. Okay. Let me do a share. Uh-oh. Everybody has disappeared. There we are. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to have you give a
Okay, so
history.
those, I think there are some with, I think there are newer pictures to that. Maybe not, I'm not sure. No, that's June. What date are those? But I mean, there are shots with the lateral view, the medial view, the dorsal wall, the heels and all of that, if you want to find those. I'm
Okay.
not sure which post they're in.
Okay, well, I can look here and I can tell just from here what has happened to this pony is that she's just hoof bound, and that causes laminitis. You know,
Okay, so how do I, you know, she does have the rotation. You looked at the x-rays not too long ago. I haven't taken new ones. How, those are the lower ones are the ones that I was talking about. How do I no longer know where to trim the sole.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, obviously the whole foot is too tall, right? I mean, and it's gotten taller even since those x-rays were taken. There were newer x-rays taken in those, but I didn't post them because I had casts on her at that point in time. And so that,
Okay.
you know, they weren't as good as that, but the rotation is exactly the same. She's not rotating anymore. She's probably been stuck in that position since way before I had her. I don't know.
Yeah. Is she a
My
Shetland?
yes.
Yeah, see, mine is too.
Yeah, she's a 10-year-old Shetland. Right now that first set of pictures you showed, I think, are the latest ones. Like the whole foot is too tall, but she has, you know, sole in the toe. I don't know how to trim it anymore because, you know, that overgrown toe is starting to crack, but then you get that, you know, sort of flaky lamina part of the laminar
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't have the faintest idea how to trim that stuff. So
Yeah.
what do I do? Maybe if you look at the sole version in that last picture, you'll see what I'm talking about, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm
Look
gonna
at
show
whatever you
you.
want to look at and tell me what to do.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you what to do.
As easy as that is.
Man, I know some other people I wish would say that to me.
Tell
Tell me what to do. Okay, get out. Let's see. I'm gonna show you something here. Just a second here. And then see if you still want me to tell you what to do. Let's see.
Okay, because the last time we talked about the ponies, you were going to show after having soaked yours for so long, but then you couldn't, you know, there wasn't enough time to do it on that chat.
Okay, I will show you. Let's see, what was this? Just a second. A similar foot. Okay, this is the hind foot. Just a minute here. Okay, where did you go? There you go. Okay, so this is my pony. These were taken in 5/19/22. It's the only time I ever had her x-rayed. But I trimmed her in a mechanical founder a long time ago. This is the back foot. The front feet are just are worse as far as the like more wear on the toe of the coffin
Okay.
bone. That's the front foot right there. Okay, now I'll show you what the foot looked like. That's the other front foot. Now this is this was 2019, and that is when I trimmed the false heel totally out, supported the foot with DIM. Okay, then she started coming unbound. Look at the difference. See how this is pulled down? Okay, so you know that doesn't want to be pulled down, right? Okay, and so all this anatomy is pulled down into here, pushing up on the coffin bone joint, pushing the toe down, and it has the effect of pulling the capsule off the front. The toe is pulling back, the capsule's pulling off the front, and the reason the feet keep getting high is because that's where the foot wants to be. And so anytime you go to trim down the heels, it's going to pull the foot around in like this. Okay. I'm going to show you a picture of her foot a long time ago before it went boom, bam, laminitis. Okay. Because I did the trim where this was the trim I did on her. Okay. So I did pony trimming according to proportions. And I did it according to the proportion. I figure my logic was that I could use a barefoot trim on a pony just by using the proportions they gave. The proportions were that you basically have from the apex of the frog to the base of the heel is 2/3 of the foot. You divide that in half, you have about the toe length. Okay. And so, but what I didn't know and what they don't know is that as you trim the heels down, it pulls the back of the foot under, and then the distance from the apex of the frog to the heels starts to shorten up. And so then when you divide that in half and you do a toe length, well, how'd that toe get long like that? I got to take the toe back. Well, then you start taking the toe back and the dorsal wall moves back and you're just bending that foot right into the capsule. And so this worked for a while. And I'll show you what it looked like at one point. A minute here. Gonna move some things around. Let's see. Okay, here's her foot. Now I use this as an example of how this was anatomy drawing by Bracy Clark before he knew that this was periopal. Okay. And you know how we talk about how the periopal, you trim the heels out, this becomes a false heel and the bulbs get wrapped into the foot, right? And the periopal gets pulled way under the foot and the frog and everything gets shoved up into the foot like this and the foot gets bent upwards. And this capsule gets smaller and smaller. And you're lucky if the dorsal wall holds. If the dorsal wall does not hold, then it tears away like this and the foot drops down and the back of the foot goes up like that and you have rotation. Like you have rotation in your foot. Now here yet, she didn't have rotation, but look at how it was pulling those cartilages down and under her foot. Look at how the hairline goes clear down into here. See that?
Yeah.
So that was her foot before it fell apart and went into full-blown laminitis found her. Okay, because these feet, many of them will hold together. Obviously, they hold together enough to make people think that's the foot, as in this picture. Do you see how this foot and this foot is basically the same thing?
Right.
And so then her foot just fell apart. All right, it exploded, and that was laminitis. And of course, that's why you're getting rotation, because this foot's pulling up this way and this capsule's pulling this way, and you're getting a big laminar wedge in the toe. So let me go back to just a second. Okay, so this one's me again. So I tried numerous times to unbind her foot. I've had to understand more and more all the time. So this was in 2019. Every attempt I was a failure at. And then I did make some partial successes. This is again the rear foot. So you see how similar her foot was here to yours in a way, but of course her front feet are much worse than yours. You see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. So, you know, all I can do is share with you some of the stuff that I'm doing because see, I have not been wholly successful. You understand?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So, let me find some pictures here because you got the same thing going on. I think it's less serious. Well, it's the same. It's just the same, you know, just not as advanced as mine got. And so this is mechanical laminitis. But then too, if she eats too much of the wrong kind of grass, she can get sore, you know. So let's see here. I gotta pick and choose what pictures I'm gonna show you. Just a second. Right now, and I shared before what I did with her. Right now, what I have done is I have taken DIM and I have made her false heel support because I have trimmed out her false heels and bars completely. Because once that foot contracts like that and gets bound like that, it's in order for it to release, at least for this pony, that's what I felt I needed to do. And so far it is working, but you have to understand that this is experimental. And really, guess what? I just trimmed them out about the same you would if you were wanting to make a barefoot horse. Now, see there? Only difference is I'm supporting a foot up in the air. Now, what's
yeah,
really...
see, I can look at the foot and see where I want it to be, but I can't actually carve it like it was a piece of wood, you know?
Yeah.
There's stuff in there.
Oh, well,
there's a foot in there.
Yeah, there is a foot in there, but let me show you just some different things here. Just a second. I got to find the right stuff here. GHIJ. Oh, well, let me show this real quick. So this would have been, so this is basically what happens in feet like that. Okay. But they don't want to stay bound down like this. On these little feet, a lot of times they will just come out and pull back up. That's why you have that weirdness in the back, you know? Okay, so. Okay, hold on. HIJ. Come on, Jackie. Okay, let me find some examples. Okay, well, this is like what I did before. Just to show you, I want to show an example of what it can do first here. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, I seem to have lost everybody. There you are. Okay, here's one. Okay, well, I showed you this example before. This shows how it was pulled down underneath like that. Okay, then from trimming out the heels and supporting the foot, I was able to get the foot to start to come unbound right there. And then I have this right here to show you. Okay, so this shows what the foot was. Again, you see how that's pulled under. Okay. And then you see this was in 9/22. This was after I got those x-rays. Okay. And it was starting to dawn on me how I might be able to release the back of this foot. Anyway, a lot of this, the only way I could get it this way was with support. Now I also put some grooves right here, some horizontal grooves in the sidewall in the quarters under where it was arched up to help it release. And I trimmed out this heel here. I trimmed all this out because this is not real heel. Okay, this is not heel. Okay, this is sidewall. The heels are clear under here, the true heel, because they were pulled under the foot long ago. And so I come up here and I just trimmed this out here and trimmed pretty much the bar and the frog and everything down, and which was actually periopal. And so this was 9/9/22, and this is 10 almost a month later. And you see the difference?
Oh yeah.
See? So I got pretty far with this. I did it on this foot first just to see if it would work. Now I showed this to a farrier, and this is how ignorant, okay, they can be. All right, I showed this foot to a farrier. I showed this to him. He said, "Oh my God, that's a digital cushion searching for the ground." How stupid is that? No, that's a digital cushion that needs a frog support underneath it. You know, digital cushion and the frog are totally different. See, they don't have any clue on anatomy at all. So he didn't see this, how the foot had expanded, how the hairline had come up, all that. All he could see was there was a gap under here.
Yeah.
See, a digital cushion searching for the ground. See, they don't know what the digital cushion is. They don't know what the frog stay is, nothing. Now here, the digital cushion is all in here, but the frog has to grow under here to support the digital cushion. See, and the digital cushion's part of the capsule, but the frog is part of the capsule, but the digital cushion is part of the foot. So here is where the whole foot is expanded and the digital cushion has gotten better. But you see the improvement?
Yes.
Okay. So
where'd you go from there?
Well, if I would have kept, what I'm trying to do is you restore the back of the foot. Like I don't even really worry about the front of the foot as much, because as soon as you start to I don't know if it'll happen to you, but as soon as you start to work with the back of that foot and unbind it, well, the front of the foot wants to unfold too.
Okay,
and so the
how do you know how much of that false heel you can trim out of there?
Of what?
How do you know how much of the false heel you can trim off of that foot? See, I know,
well,
if like I posted that couple of pictures a week ago or a couple weeks ago about, that we've had rain, so the periopal's naturally starting to move, right? And that sort of freaks people out. Some people think I should cut it away. I try to tend to be a little, that's where I'm at. I don't know what to trim off and what to leave.
Look at this here. There is no sole in here. Do you see that? There's no sole there. There's
no sole
nothing
where, Linda?
there.
I can't see what you're looking at.
Oh, okay. Can you see it now?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
There's no sole in here. See, once you trim that frog down and you start getting in here, you find there's no foot in here. Okay. And so, because it's all bent under here. And so this is just hollowed out, so you can take off quite a bit. Like, well, you can see how much I took off here.
Right.
See, and then I built up, and this is nothing. Look at this. Okay. See, if they would just support these other feet. Just a minute here. Let me show you something. Pictures. What I'll do too is I will get together with you in Messenger and I will show you more
Okay.
on how to do this. You know, there's some stuff I don't want to really do on here because then people will misapply it.
Yeah, I
Because
get it.
this is experimental. So if you decide to do something like this, you have to realize that I have not been a full, complete success at this yet. You know, now my pony walks around just fine. She does everything just fine, but I have not fully unbound these feet yet. You know, she's not getting worse. And she's better than she was when I had the x-rays. Okay.
Well, I'm sort of, you know, I'm, you know, how fast can you unbind them anyway without causing further damage to the interior structures? Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, I don't have all those answers.
I know that's why I'm, you know, trying to like sort of be cautious and go slowly, waiting for somebody, hopefully Linda, to advise me on what to do.
Yeah. Somebody telling you they're not successful.
Well, hey, that's better than somebody telling me what to do when they don't have the faintest freaking idea what to do, acting like they know what they're doing.
There you go. Yeah, that's better.
I can do that by myself.
Yeah, what the heck? Let me show you some stuff here. Just a minute. The point is getting the back of that foot to uncurl without I used to bother me if the toe shot forward. That doesn't bother me anymore. I just don't worry about it because I'm trying to get the cartilage. If you could get the cartilage released and the heel's pretty stabilized and the frog grown to stabilize that cartilage, then you could work on the front of the foot.
But if I don't work on the front of the foot a little bit, aren't I just increasing that laminar wedge?
Well, giant pause. No, because what happens is the toe will shoot forward because the foot unbends and you've still got the laminar wedge in there when it does that. And so then if you start to whittle on that wall, it'll just get worse. If you don't get the back of that foot established first, you can take those toes back a little bit. But I learned the hard way. You don't want to start whittling on that dorsal wall because the toe is long. Just like worrying about underrun heels, you know, you can't just worry about underrun heels. You're going towards a goal. They'll straighten up as the inner foot gets right. Okay. And so the same with the toe. When that they need that long toe to pull the foot out. See, your foot is bent or in there. Okay. And so you're starting to release the back of that foot. Well, it naturally will let go of the front and the front will start to seem to shoot forward, but it's the foot flattening out and you need that toe to pull the front of that foot forward.
Okay, so then how do I shorten the heel? I mean, I have to shorten the toe to shorten the heel, right? I mean, I'm talking about like taking the heel off from the bottom, not from the top.
Yeah, no. Here, look at this picture. Just a second. There was nothing here. Just a minute. New share. Okay, looky here. You see this foot here?
Yes.
Okay. There's nothing there. There's nothing in all that. There's not a foot. There's nothing, because the real foot has been so bent down and bent in under in here that there's nothing here. Now, so, you know, I wound up taking all this off here and then supporting the foot. So you can see that this foot is changing. It's getting wider. Now, this was the first attempt I made at this, because all of this was false heel. Now what happens is this all gets full of sole and bar looking material so that it looks like a normal foot. But what is underneath is this, nothing. Remember how I was saying about the grass, how what happens, it just, they keep trimming it, you keep trimming it the same, even though it's bending and doing all this weird stuff and deforming inside. And so the sole looks normal up here. But what's real, but you really have this underneath. See that? There's nothing there. See, nothing. Eventually, like, I kept trying to hold on to this little piece here. Eventually I just came in and I took all this off, because there ain't nothing there. There's nothing there. Now, they'll do this anyway in barefoot trimming. They'll just trim it off to look like that wild horse's foot, because they think it's got to have a low heel, right? Okay, but like for me, that's like pulling teeth. Okay, so eventually I just came in and basically did that kind of a trim. Okay, but I kept the horse booted and I supported their foot up where it would be if it was normal foot. And that's what allowed it to expand like that. See, this ain't bad. Okay, I could come in there, barefoot trimmer, just trim all this out right here. Let's see. Annotate. But it took me a while to want to do that, because I was so anti trim the heel down, you know. So it took me time to just come in here and do this. See that? How then I'd just trim all that out. That's what you do in a barefoot trim. Only thing is, then they wouldn't support the foot. Okay, because they think it's supposed to look like that. All right, and then half the time it gets worse. All right, so instead I come in here with DIM that filled all this up and elevated the foot up to where it would be if the heels were grown in. And when I did that, the foot started to widen up. Why? Because when you lower the foot, it wants to be back up anyway, and it pulls all this in like that. See? That's why this worked. Okay, because the foot itself was pulling all this up anyway. So when I supported it, it did not pull the sidewall in again. But then when I didn't support it for a few days, boom, took where the heel buttress should be here and sucked it clear over here to the frog. I did not understand why that happened at all until that gal posted the picture of that horse that she trimmed the heels totally out of him, and then 3 days later he made his own heels. Okay, so the point is, you have to release the back of this foot and get the back of this foot established. Now, have I done that yet? So right now it's just theory. Okay, but I know that the theory is sound because of that horse in Greece that cut its coffin bone off, and the guy was able to grow a hoof capsule and restore it because the back of the foot was solid. Okay, and was good. This, you know, the caudal foot, the whole back of the foot, even without a coffin bone, that horse is running around all over the place. It's this part of the foot that is the most vital, not that coffin bone. See? And so
do you have a picture of that foot after you trimmed it from the side? You know, a
yeah,
lateral view?
yeah, let me,
It's hard for me to picture what all you've done from that view.
I know it. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Hold on, let me look. You know,
How'd you get the nerve to do that?
well,
Sorry.
yeah, no kidding. Well, I didn't for a long time. I had to really, 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 really think about it, you know. So, okay, I'll show you this.
I would freak out.
Yeah, I don't know that I have the nerve to do that much all at one time, but that's
Maybe,
Well,
awesome.
probably not.
yeah, maybe just do like anything else, just do, little bit and then see what it looks like after a couple days and then maybe a little bit. Yeah,
Well,
agree.
I did kind of do that, but then gradually I saw where, hey, this just needs to come out,
Because I understand how you'd have to release the back of the foot and leave the toe longer. So as everything comes down, the bone and everything has somewhere to go. Because
Yeah.
if you take all that toe off, it's just going to get jammed up and it's not going to be able to, the bone's not going to be able to align correctly and slide forward. So I get that, but holy smokes.
Well, I'll
This
show you here.
is on my comfort zone for sure.
Okay, so here's the x-ray. You can see that all this is wrapped up and pushed into the coffin bone right here. That pushes this wall forward, pushes the toe down, and the dorsal wall, here's your big laminar wedge here. But this is what the foot looks like. Okay. So these are just grooves. That's all this is, just grooving and stuff. So this is the heel trimmed out right here. Okay, now look at where the hairline is. Look at how the cartilage has already extended. There's no blood in any of this because there's because the foot is twisted under here. There's no blood, and so I didn't worry about this toe getting long. And so then I build up DIM under here supporting the foot. Okay, just a minute here. Let me find you another picture. See, guys, what I'm looking at is the cartilage and the back of the foot. I am not, okay, here's a good one. Wait a minute. New share. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just telling you that this is what I want you to see. Now that's the wrong foot. Just a minute.
But why did you put that big groove there on the lateral side, closest to your blue line?
Because look at here. You see how that's jammed up there? Like that?
Maybe somewhere to go.
Yeah. To release, to put a groove here so that this hairline could relax. Okay, let me show you something. Let's see here. Just a minute. Let me show you something. Okay. Okay, so here's the foot. See how this is pushed up here? See that?
Yep.
Okay. So I put a groove, I put grooves here and I put grooves here. So that this could relax right here. You see how it changed it?
Yeah.
Right there. Now look at the cartilage back here, how the back of the foot extended. Okay, now you got to remember that there is a big laminar wedge in the toe here, right?
Right.
Okay, so what did the dorsal wall do? The dorsal wall pulled up this way. So this is all laminar wedge in here. Like that. All this did, and what that did, because this foot is bent this foot is bent back that way, right? So what this toe did by me not just taking it off, first of all, the horse couldn't stand up if you did that, is it pulled this part of the foot forward while this was releasing backwards. You see? See, this little bone here is now right here. And then these cartilages that were all bound are now released right here. And then, but the horse is in a boot, and a horse has DIM supporting the whole back of the foot. Just a minute. Annotate. Just a minute. Like this. Anyway, well, not quite like that. It's like this. It's got DIM supporting the whole back of the foot so that when he stands, his hairline is up here. You see that? Okay. So that he doesn't want to pull this sidewall in like this again, and his foot will expand. This all was caused from lowering heels so that the foot wanting to stand up here, and the cartilage just kept pulling the sidewall in and pulling the sidewall in and pulling the sidewall in. Do you understand? That's what happened. That's why this pony did this. That's why your pony's like that and stuff, because at some point, just them heels are incorrectly trimmed, and then they just start pulling all that anatomy gets shoved up into that bone, which causes it to rotate, which either going to give them a can foot or a foot like what you got here or what you have. So anyway, so the idea is to release all this cartilage, get the bulbs right, then grow in the wall and the frog back. See, you got to keep the frog trimmed down. I found dead frog clear up in her foot that was hidden under sole. See? Just a minute here. You know, I'm not telling you what you can or can't do with your pony. You know, you just might want to maintain her where she's at for now and see how I do. You know what I mean? You know, because I didn't support the foot, it went to revert back real quick, but now I'm keeping boots on her. And so I'll show you, this was the time before, this was last year, and I was not successful because I did not know about how if you don't support these feet, boy, they'll wrap those heels right under there and they'll make heel. Look at how this horse made heel. Look at that. But that's all fake heel. There's nothing in that. That's all hollow right in there. Nothing in there. You know, but we know because the way this capsule has grown, see, and she's rotated clear up into here. We know that you can't just come and cut this out and try and make it look like a normal foot. That, you know, put a big old Mustang roll on it here. You know, you can't do that. They do it anyway. You know, then they have to do a resection and cut out the whole wall. Hey, I can show you how Daisy Alexis Picking does whole resections on the wall and says, well, that's not that bad. She's not a vet, you know. And if she's had some success with that, good for her. Let's see here. Clear all drawings. But I am having success. That there is success. Even if I wasn't able to finish it because I made a mistake. Now this time, just a minute. Let me undo this. So what I'm just, where I'm going is I'm going to establish the back of the foot and then I'm going to worry about that. You know, other than that, I ain't going to worry too much about that. Let's see here.
So in the toe, is it safe to assume that you do not have, I mean, do you have all those hollow sections in your toe from the laminar wedge?
Yeah.
You know, the hanging chads of lamina or
The
white
hanging
line.
chads. That's funny.
So you just ignore those basically?
Kinda, while I'm just working on the back of the foot here.
Okay.
Here, I'll show you this. Look at this. Okay, this was something that Cebola. Everybody know who Cebola is. She's the gal from Portugal, and she has the jumpers and all that. In fact, she's won all kinds of ribbons and stuff. And so when I first got to know her, she sent me this picture. Just a second here. I'll show you. Okay, well, just a minute. Well, now I gotta find it again. Hold on. Okay. Share screen. Okay. You see this picture here? You see, this is off a eventing horse. And this was a message that Cebola sent to me. It says, "Hello, Linda. May I ask you, isn't this kind of open up the heels that this girl is doing kind of almost cruelty? Here in Portugal, this cruel farriers all do this to the heels. They all do this to the heels." Okay. Now, if you were to do that, all right, and then DIM it and support the foot up and boot it with a bunch of moisture, the heels would expand out this way, just like they did on my pony here. See there? My pony has the same thing. You see this foot? You see my pony's foot here?
Yeah.
Okay, you see why they do that? Because there's nothing here. It's all hollow. It's all nothing. There's no soul in it. Now, when this is full of frog and full of fake soul, dead soul, yeah, you think so. And you think you got bars and everything, but this is what's really there. That's what you really got here. See, I have the same situation going on my pony. So I tried it on this foot first. Notice. See the difference? See, this is what, okay. This is the hairline being pulled under here. You see that? Same thing. I have the same thing here. Okay. So what did they do on that horse there? They cut this heel out here. Okay. Well, they cut it out like that, pretty much, kind of down and like that. So I figure, well, I can do that, you know, and then support the foot and put moisture on it. And this is what happened in a very short period of time. So I did it to one foot first to see if it would work. And this foot is this foot here. That was just the same. Look, see it? That's the foot. That's this foot here. I think could be the other foot. Because I did it the other foot too. They're both the same. I can distort a foot equally the same on all 4 feet. I'm that good. Okay. So anyway, supported with DIM and boots, foot must be kept moist. See, 15-year-old Shetland mare, chronic founder, laminitis, rotation up to the coronary band with laminar wedge. Both feet were the same. Started the right front after I saw the theory was working on the left front. Okay, so this is the right. Okay, so it worked here. Then I did it on this foot. Okay, this is that foot. This is the other foot. This is the start. Okay, see, it took me a while to figure out what to take out, you know. But see, I'm going with the view as I know she's got a foot in here. And then that her little foot is bent under there. So you see how it's pulled down, see how it's better here, better yet, and even better here. Now, there's no denying that, right? Now, here's what I want to show you happens. It's bent, so look at where the frog apex was. See, clear up there. Okay, then see how it's moving back as the foot is straightening out and flattening out. Okay, and this is where I learned that the frog, the real true frog corium, the most innermost layer closest to the frog before you get the blood is opaque or clear.
Okay, so after we had that 3 inches of rain and I took those pictures, I trimmed off everything that was loose and flaky. And, you know, I saw the pink and stopped. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And I was thinking I went too far, but there was no blood, so I was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, see? You know? So
But now that the frog is now that the frog is so deep in the foot, I don't know what to do with the rest of the foot. Does that make sense? You know, it's like, oh wow, this is just like so freaky to me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it makes total sense because the foot is bent. See? It's bent like in half. And then everything it grows and is trimmed into a smaller version that you're looking at the sole, but it's all hollow under there. And of course, you've trimmed a lot of that out now, and you're seeing that, right?
Starting to, still a little afraid to trim. I mean, the feet are so
I don't blame you.
Small. My knives won't even get where they need to go.
Yeah, same in here. Sometimes I have to use the Dremel with a burr, you know, a burr to get into things. Now, see, sometimes when I was the first attempt I made at this, I was trimming the frog and I pulled right here and I pulled out a piece of frog that was totally petrified and buried under the sole.
Wow.
Because see, as the foot is bending, the frog that's there gets bent up into the sole as well. So you can have dead frog buried way, way, way up in the foot.
Oh, I've been digging bars out of my gelding for 2 years now.
Yeah, see?
You know, it's incredible to me that they can have such ingrown bars. It's sad. That's what I call them. I don't know if that's what you call them or not.
Well, I used to call them ingrown.
It isn't bent.
You know, now I know too, like I had a foundered mare I helped a lady with that I have that video on, the tragedy of Laminitis, on my channel, where I talked this lady into finally putting this horse out of her misery. And I got the feet off that horse. And when I took the capsule off, she had like 3 sets of bars because her foot would become disconnected from one set from rotation and start growing another set, and then come disconnected from that and grow another set.
Well, see, and that's why I'm so hesitant to like really trim like that periopal, because you know, when I posted that, well, you know, somebody posted, well, it looked like, you know, it looks like she's ready to walk out of her capsule. Of course, that scared me, but
yeah,
I don't know. So maybe you can look at that too and let me know whether or not you think she's about ready to walk out of her capsule.
Okay.
Linda, do you have pictures of the 3 sets of bars?
Did you
when you did that dissection?
Say that again, dear.
Sorry, when you did that dissection of the horse that had the 3 sets of bars, do you have pictures of that?
Yeah. I don't know if I can find it right off the bat. I'll have to go into the video maybe and get a picture of it. I have the foot. I could dig it out. Just a minute. I might have it down here in my box of bones. Let's see here. No, is that it? No, here. Nope, just a minute. Why is after me? Okay. Okay, can you see my thing there?
We have your horse.
Okay, that's my little pony. I don't want you to see my room. It's a disaster. Okay,
Probably
so
doesn't look any worse than mine.
here's my box of bones. So I think I have that capsule in here somewhere. Oh, okay, here it is. This is it. Wait a minute. How come it's not showing it? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there it is. Just a minute. Let me rest this because I got the palsy. Okay, do you see them?
We see what you have in your hand. Let's see.
Okay,
There's
this is the
one.
bar,
There's one. There's
and this
two.
is a
There's
bar,
three. Wow.
and this is a bar. Okay, but when I first saw this and I made a interpretation, I interpreted it as ingrown bar. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Because at the time, I did not understand rotation. Just a minute, let me move some stuff. Okay, I did not understand rotation. Okay, now look at that heel. Wait a minute. Look at the heel, and then look at that sticking up into the bottom of a horse's foot. See that? And then, of course, the laminar wedge was there. Let me see if I can find another. I got little bugs in here, I think, that are eating everything. They got holes in them.
So odd question is,
Yeah.
with excess bar like that, because I know on some x-rays you can see different shadows of different things. Would you be able to see the excess bar on an x-ray?
I don't know if you could or not. I don't know. It might not show up, just like sidewall sometimes doesn't show up. If you look at those x-rays of my pony, where there's nothing, you don't even see the wall at all. You know, so it might not even show up. Well, bars don't really show up, or do they? You know, that's something we should be trying to look at. I don't think it even shows up. Just like sometimes wall doesn't show up. In my pony's x-rays, it looked like she didn't even have heels, you know? And then, okay, here's the other side. Here's the foot. You see the laminar, you see the laminar wedge in the wall. So
Yes.
the foot would have been here, and so rotated up to the coronary band here. So you see how the wall has to grow. It can't grow straight down. It has to grow up this way, over this way, and down that way. See? So the bar on this side, I know it had the same thing going on, but one of them has come off. See, and it also had a double set of sole. See the double sole? See the double sole? Sole here, and then sole here.
Amazing.
So anyway, okay. Just a minute. Now, I showed when I was at the vet's office in Veneta, Oklahoma, I had a picture of a pony's foot they'd cut in half, the same size pony as ours. And she had rotated 4 times. Every time they rotate, the hoof capsule becomes disconnected and they start growing a new one. See? And so this pony had a can foot that was like 4 or 5 inches tall, and she had started growing a new foot 4 times. And so when it was cut in half, you could see it. You know, 4 different feet growing from the same foot. So
Yeah, so help me keep that from happening, Linda.
yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm trying. I barely kept it from happening to mine. I can't tell you how many times I just saw the writing on the wall and started freaking out. Like when she got her can foot, she got every shape of foot you can imagine that laminated horses get, like from the slipper foot with the long toe to the can foot, to where it's such a can foot that you know they're gonna knuckle over and not be able to stand up, you know. And so I was always just trying to keep, you know, trying to keep things together. And let's see, let me see if I can show you picture of some of her issues. Here's one. When was this? This is in 2018. I tried now. Okay, before I show you this, I'm going to show you something else. Okay. Because people are stupid. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other people who watch this be just ignorant and say, oh my God, look at what you did to that foot. Well, I'm going to show you something here so you understand more. Just a second here. Grooving for laminitis. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'll show you some grooving here. Just a second. You know, everybody on these horses, it's such a death sentence that people over the years have just tried to do anything and everything they could to try and figure these feet out and help these horses, you know. So this is some of the grooving that people do for laminitis. You see that? Because what's happening? The hoof capsule is coming off the foot this way, and this foot is trying to come up this way for the very reason that I told you. When you trim those heels out, that foot does not want to be down there. Everything in the leg, in the horse, all the anatomy is pulling the foot up this way. You've pulled it down that way. You've changed all the angle of the horn tubules pushing forward, so the capsule's pushing out this way and the foot is pulling that way. Basically what laminitis is, the horse just walking out of his capsule. See? And so then the lamina and the toe and everything goes to work trying to hold on to the wall. It's being pulled out this way. Oh crud, where'd it go? Did I close it? Did I close that? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Just a second. Make that bigger. So, okay. See, this is the horizontal groove. You see it? Okay.
Yes.
This is the vertical groove. That's a vertical groove. Up here, they're trying to release the pressure on the coronary band up here, where I showed you on that cadaver foot what's going on, right? That the wall isn't just growing straight down, because the foot is rotated around this way. And so the wall grows up and over and down. That's why people say, well, the heels grow real fast, but the wall isn't growing at all. Let me see if there's any more here. See what happens. See,
Ow.
you know, this is from rotation, from that foot wanting to stand up. That's all that's going on. It's just wanting to stand up. See, now I know why that hoof cinch kind of works, which is like a pipe clamp that you put on, that you screw to the foot, that comes around the front here. It just, you know, kind of keeps the wall from pulling out this way, which kind of helps, you know, and stuff. So here's a rotated foot right there. See how that foot wants to stand up here? So that's why this foot is rotating. See, when they see rotation, all they're seeing is coffin bone rotation. They don't know that the horse has a whole foot, and that the back of the foot is rotating up this way because it wants to stand up. See, doesn't want to be pulled down to a 30-degree hairline level. Let's see here. So somebody could look at this. If we know what we know, well, what happened here? Because look, that horse has a big frog stay and the digital cushion looks okay. Well, yeah, because they kept trimming the heels down and the foot kept pulling back up to where it wanted to be, but the capsule was already reduced and it was pushing, you know, into here, and it created this whole situation. So looky there. See, that's what eventually happens. You can bet that horse doesn't have any. See how that foot wants to be up here? Every time they took those heels down, this is what did this. Yep. Hairline wants to be up here. Foot wants to stand up back here. All of this is caused by the same thing. There's a form of grooving. See there? So I do number group. Oh, there's the hoof cinch. Now I see why that works. It keeps that dorsal wall from pulling forward. But if you're not doing what's right to the back of the foot, oh, here's our picture. See there? God hoof, barefoot trim, hoof guided method. God hoof, God hoof. Let's see. See, just all of this for the same reason, too low a heels. You see this here, this horse just wants to be up here. That's all. That's why if you take off them false heels, look here, same deal. Okay, take off them false heels. This horse getting a laminar wedge, but it's not rotated up to here yet. You see there? When it separates up here, that's when you're in trouble. Laminar wedge is just here. Because the horse's foot wants to be up, 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 up. There's your hoof cinch. Anybody else heard of them besides me?
I've heard of them. I've never seen them in person, but you know, seen the
I used them.
people doing them.
Yeah, I had a gal that wanted them put on a horse. We put them on her horse. That don't look good. Here's an example. See, this foot just wanted to be up here. That's all. So it's pretty simple, really. And finally you get this going on to where the wall just, you know, they kept wanting this to be a barefoot horse, I'm sure. Best thing to do there, I don't know what you do. See how this cartilage just refused to be a barefoot horse. There's your laminitis walk. Just like that. How's your pony walk?
She's walking well now. I've done a combination of, you know, casts when it's sort of dry and hoops and clay when it's wet. And so it was just really wet the other day, so I took them off. Right, today she's been barefoot. She's only I need to go back out and put her. I was waiting for your advice. And you know, I've only seen her lay down once. She's one of those that just lays down, which is fine by me because she's not laying down in agony. She just lays down for a while and then gets back up and, you know,
okay.
sleeps. So she's, you know, she's walking better than she has been, but I just want to make sure we keep going in the right direction.
Okay. Now look here. See this foot here? How that foot wants to be up here. And so it's a whole foot, right? So it's pulling up here because they kept lowering the heels. Okay, so the whole foot is coming out of the capsule like that while the capsule is being pulled forward like that. Now, here's something interesting. Have you ever seen these clogs?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here you go. Now they insist on trimming the heels down on this horse. Look at how the cartilage is.
They trim the heels out, then they pack it, and then they put a rocker on it and elevate the heel, which doesn't make sense.
Which obviously they see gives the horse some relief, right? Well, that's because this whole leg wants this hairline up here.
It's because they falsely elevated the heel that they have already cut out, but that's a different story.
Yeah, how crazy is that? You think they'd get a clue sooner or later. They're the experts. You know, they're the experts. But see, once that image is put in your head of what that foot is supposed to look like, images are very powerful, you know. Just some really interesting images we got going here. So a farrier, of course, will trim out the sole in the toe because the foot is supposed to be concave. Well, he's removing the part of the sole that's holding the toe into the wall here and thinning it out while lowering the heel, which pushes all this, you know, all this up into here, pushed up into this bone. You see why they rotate, why the coffin bone itself rotates? So you push all this up here and it pushes this forward, which rotates this bone down. And because he's trimmed all the sole out of the toe here, and plus the heels have been trimmed out and there's no sole anyway, then nothing to hold that foot together. So here's your laminar wedge right here.
So Linda, on the post, you know, people were saying like, you know, I needed to make sure that I trimmed some of the sole away under the toe to keep it from packing in and whatever. So you're advising me to keep I don't want to use the word advising because you don't want to advise me on anything. You know, you don't want to tell me
stay
what to
safe
do.
over here.
Yes, but you would leave the toe alone, correct?
Yeah, I would not want to be trimming out a lot of sole in the toe.
Alone. Okay, all right.
Not right now.
Okay.
You know, because then you have this situation.
Right.
So if her toes are stable, just let them stay stable.
All right.
Otherwise, you know, that hoof I have where you can see that the sole was in such bad shape. Like she had really good back feet, but bad front feet were totally founder, laminar wedge and everything, the ones I've showed before,
Yeah.
that can start happening. And how do I know that too? Because I've done it. See, taking out too much soul. Look here, just look at that x-ray. See why you want to maintain any soul you have right here? You know, right from here forward.
Okay, so can you do me a favor and go back to my pictures and
Yes.
talk about what you think I might want to consider doing
Okay.
to my own devices and my own, you know, thoughts and whatever. Yeah, I'm covering your butt.
Okay. Yeah, see, because of my experience, and I've had success with laminitis cases. Okay, I don't know how, but it was. Like that Mare Cookie that I told you about. When I first seen her, she had an inch wide white line. Okay, and with that we were talking about one week, I was able to trim because I left heel. I was able to trim her out of that. All right, I was a success. My own horse that I trimmed into mechanical laminitis, Valor, trimmed him out of that. So some success there. But you know, anyway, let me go find you again. But as far as my pony, no, I'm not successful yet. Now, she never has been, she never ever has laid down. Okay. I know that when horses are really bad, they lay down a lot. Okay. I mean, if I see her lay down at all, I'm surprised, you know, because she just never lays down. Hardly ever. Sometimes she'll lay down and sleep, but that's about it.
That's sort of interesting to me in an amusing way, looking at her x-rays.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to say this other than to say it. You would think that her x-rays would cause her more pain than my pony's x-rays are causing her. Do you know what I'm saying? Just
yeah,
because of the level of
absolutely.
rotation.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Coffin bone, you know, remodeling and stuff. So it's sort of really interesting to me. But right now, if she's laying down and she's comfortable, she's not eating, so I'm happy. For an hour, she's not eating, I'm happy.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, this pony eats. I mean, this pony can eat. She eats as much as my big horse.
Well, you know, I've been doing research on that too, and they don't know why, but horses, you know, they say should have 1.5 to 2% of dry matter, you know, based on body weight. Horses or ponies will eat, you know, 3 to 4%. It's astounding to me.
Oh, she's an endless. Yeah, she's a bottomless pit.
My pony makes as much manure as my horses. It's amazing.
I got to go find your pictures again. Yeah, this pony, she just eats her right up, and she don't get fat either. You know, she's not crusty necked. She's not anything like that. You know, and I feed her alfalfa now too. Oh, everybody else said, oh, no wonder she's foundered. No, I give her a little bit of alfalfa every day, and it doesn't affect her at all.
Well,
I just started doing that a few months ago. Let's see. Yeah, her problem is not her diet. She's been on prairie hay up until the last couple months, when I give her like just a little bit of alfalfa with her prairie hay, but she gets pretty much all the prairie hay she wants. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say she gets a good flake and a half of prairie hay a day, which I think is a lot for a pony, don't you, of that size? And she can eat it all and not gain a stitch. And she's warmed.
I don't actually have any understanding about prairie hay, so I couldn't tell you that. I don't know anything about the nutritional composition of it. So
it's good hay. It's very nutritious, but it's not, it's not like Timothy or like some of these other really more rich grasses.
Is that considered a warm season grass or a cool season grass?
I don't know.
Yeah, see,
I don't know what
not
it
even
is.
really heard of prairie hay before. I
Okay.
mean, I've heard of prairie grass, but it never dawned on me that people turn prairie grass into hay.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's prairie
Yeah.
grass. Yeah, like the buffalo ate.
It's amazing how we only know what we experience, isn't it?
And you know, the roots go down like 3-4 feet.
It's
They're
amazing.
really deep rooted in case there's a drought.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Now, what was your pony's name again? I got to look up the pictures again. What was your pony's name again? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm sorry. I muted myself again because my
Oh.
dog was barking. Nessa, Nessa.
Okay. All right. So we've looked at, okay, so here's some pictures.
Yeah, see, this was the period. Remember I told you I took the boots off because her heel balls were getting rubbed. And so then I just had those pads taped on and it rained. And this is all of the periopal that just totally loosened up, that freaked people out.
Okay, well, are you seeing how it's just her foot raising up?
Yeah.
Because it rained, because her cartilage want to be undone and they want to be up here. Okay, so when it rained, the back of her foot just was released and able to rise up to where it wants to be. And so that's why they have these weird looking frogs, okay? Because what's happened is you have several frogs there, okay?
Okay, so that the white stuff, that's just where all of that frog was, that had so much moisture on it, it all just like peeled, flaked away. I mean, I've cleaned that up since I took that.
Yeah.
But now the frog is a good, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch below what looks like sole there.
Okay. Well, see, this would be all hollow and fake, just like in my pony. Okay. That's not, it may look, because see, she was always trimmed. Her foot was always wanting to come up out, but she was always being trimmed the same. And so this is like the grass that grows in the hole. And so that frog is like that. Very well could be because internally, the frog came out of the frogcorium and started growing another frog. Or, okay, you know how when I talk about how when we're growing in sidewall, how you have to weight the wall, and then as the foot rises, it will grow the sidewall and deposit it in the capsule.
Okay.
You know, well, what's happening here too is the foot is pulling up and growing out at the same time and depositing this in there instead of the foot being just the way it's supposed to be, and this stuff growing and then getting to where it'll exfoliate or get trimmed off.
Okay, so that's just what was left from whenever I just took my hands to it. That's all of that exfoliated.
Okay.
So I've cleaned that up, but now that the frog is beneath the level of the sole, I don't really know what to do with that sole.
See how she wants to pull up out of this?
Right.
There. Yeah. See, all that would come out pretty easy.
Okay,
so
do you see the toe? See, this is what drives me. Okay, so where would I quit taking all of, I'm using my cursor like you can see it. Sorry. I'm moving my cursor on my screen like you can see it. How crazy is that? Okay, so I'm wondering where I stop taking out the heel. Does that make sense? Like, where do I stop taking out the sole as I'm approaching the toe?
Probably right in here.
Okay. All right. So everything in front of that, do you see where the toe is darker, where the flaky yellow line is?
Yeah.
So you had, that's like rockered itself already.
Okay.
So that's what why I don't know what to do with the toe. See that, does that make sense?
Yeah. So don't worry about the toe
Okay,
right now. I would not be messing with too much right up in here,
okay.
you know,
And so
because you don't want to thin this out because she's pulling up this way. And if you thin it out and stuff, she could push down through it.
okay, so then how much of the heel do you think you would take down? Like, how do
Well,
I know how much is enough?
it would only be if I was supporting it with DIM material.
Absolutely, yeah, right.
See,
And then the DMN, did the DIM you just take back up to the level of the toe?
yeah, see, like I would come in
Okay.
here and I would take all this frog off, thoop, 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 and then I would probably just take, well, let me see a side view. Do you have some side views?
Maybe not on that. There are, but I don't think they're that batch of
Okay,
pictures. They're the
let
ones
me
with the little
see.
stickers on them.
Let's look at the x-rays again too, because see how you can't really, now look at, that's probably, I don't know if that's frog or bar, but maybe this is bar. Clear up in here, you know, because the foot is bent. Okay, so you're asking about the toe here, but here's where her toe is.
Right
here. So you don't want to take any of this out from under there.
Okay.
Okay. Even if you see the toe shoot forward, you really don't want to mess with anything.
And don't
right
do
under
anything,
here.
But what about nothing at the point of the toe either?
Well,
Leave that there?
What's going to happen is it's just going to kind of flip up in the air there a little bit. You might be able to take it just a little bit back, but I would just wait
Okay.
a little bit. I wouldn't get wild about this area.
Okay.
That's not the cause of anything. That's the result of this. Okay. So now I can see light, I don't know. That's the bottom of the collateral groove right there, right in here, I think. Right in here, right in there. See that? Whatever that is like dead frog, or it could be dead bar, but you know, your bars are, the foot is bent.
Right.
So okay. Yeah, you can really see where this is pushing that joint forward. See there? Just pushing all this anatomy forced into this side of the coffin bone, just pushing that forward. There. Now her feet aren't as bad as my ponies were. And on this foot, this is not a big laminar wedge here. This is pretty good right here. Her toe is forced forward like that. And she doesn't have really any remodeling in the bone right here. So she's got a very complete, good coffin bone. That's the.
Okay. Well, that's
what
the
foot
hind.
is that?
That's the left hind.
Okay.
The right front is the one that is the most problematic.
What's this?
That's the left front.
Left front. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the right front that's the worst.
I call it the most problematic because that's the one she doesn't want to pick up.
Okay. The foot on the foot.
No, I said that the wrong way.
Okay.
She doesn't want to pick the left foot up because she doesn't want to weight the right foot.
Okay. Tell me when I get to that foot.
Okay. Not yet. Not yet. That one.
That one.
That's the right front.
Okay. Well, you see
arrowy things up in the front that say LF, RF, like in the right-hand corner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
they point to it like that. Yeah. Okay. I wondered how that worked. Okay. Well, you can see on this foot how this is the one she's got the most coffin bone damage on.
Right.
Okay. So you could just start with this one foot. you know.
Okay.
Okay, you don't
Well-
want to go past here. Okay, all you want to do is you get your DIM material, you're going to take off as much of the sidewall and heel as you can and support the foot up there and keep it booted in sacks and sock moisturizer.
Okay, so is the sidewall then arched as I'm taking that off? Do you know what I'm saying? No, okay, keep it flat. Okay.
Yeah, keep it flat because it's going to be in a boot and it's still going to be up like this.
Okay.
See, it keeps doing this because her foot wants to be up here, but all this is being pulled around and shoved into the bottom of this. See, her bone, her navicular bone is in a pinch.
Right.
But I guarantee you that if you start to unbind this pony's foot, you'll be able to pick that other foot up with no problem.
Well, I mean, I can pick it up with no problem as long as I have this. I always work on this one first so that the dim or the
Okay.
the mud or the cushion or whatever is under it before I pick the other one up.
Okay. Okay. So not that bad of a laminar wedge compared to like my pony. You know, I don't see why you couldn't, you know, with this theory, it's just a theory, but you see that it has worked on the back of my pony's feet. I
Right.
just have not been able to successfully fulfill it yet. Now, what's interesting is looking at these pictures when they're smaller. You know, you can see what's good is taking these pictures and looking at them at different sizes because you see things you don't see at other sizes.
Oh, I find just looking at the hooves from weird angles shows me a bunch of different.
Oh,
other
yeah.
You know, just looking at the foot from like over the top from the side or some way you don't normally look at it. It's like, oh, I didn't see that from the correct angle.
Yeah. Now look at where her hairline wants to be. See? But what'll happen is barefoot trimmer come in, trim this off just like this. You see that? And then trim this toe off just like this. See that? But it doesn't do anything except pull this down again. And then she wants her foot to be up. The foot will still keep pulling up like this. See, and wrapping this around and wrapping it around and wrapping it around. Do you see the temptation is? And this is what the vets will tell them to do. They'll get that and they'll say, okay, well, she's just got way too much heel. You need to take that heel off.
Well, I know they would take the heel off and then they would just file all the ridges off the front and she'd look like she had a nice foot, but then her foot would fall through her hoof.
Exactly. So, you know, you just come in, you get the DIM, you build her like, you just cut these heels off. This is all false anyway.
Okay.
Okay, right to here. You don't want to mess with anything under there.
No, I'm not seeing where
Yeah.
they're saying right to where.
Oh, wait a minute. Right to here. See, nothing.
Okay, so like midsection of the foot.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
nothing about here forward. Don't mess with it
Okay.
and stuff. And so you come in and you would just take all this off, this heel off, and clean up whatever is in there and everything else. And then you build her a DIM boot like that.
Okay.
See, that's going to keep her foot in the same position.
How do I know that I'm not taking too much heel?
Well, just do a barefoot trim back here.
Okay.
Just make her look like that natural wild horse.
Okay.
1 cm heel. You know, see, we're not doing anything. We're just doing a barefoot trim. Okay.
Okay, I think I will be a little bit more not quite so aggressive, at least the first time.
We're just doing a barefoot trim.
I'm good with partial barefoot trim the first
Yeah.
time. See how that works.
You know,
Okay, so theoretically, I'm dropping the heel and I am pushing the coffin bone forward essentially with the dim.
no, you're not pushing the coffin bone or doing anything. What you're doing is you're just allowing the foot to stay up elevated. You're
Okay.
allowing the foot to be exactly like it is, but without this part. And you've just replaced it with the DIM.
Okay.
But you've
okay.
taken away some of the stability that's holding and binding the back of the foot. And so that the cartilage can be released and come up like this.
Okay.
See? So that then you can grow in the true heels. And as you do that, all this anatomy that was in here, shoving this forward, is going to relax out this way. And this part here, this coffin bone, is going to want to relax this way.
And that laminar wedge is going to keep it from doing something weird.
Well,
right. That's why I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, you just don't want to mess with
Okay.
that.
All right.
Because you want to get the back of the foot established. You need this to pull the foot forward.
Okay, you've been with me for forever. Can I ask you for one more favor?
Sure.
Can you sort of draw that on the picture of the foot instead of the picture of the X-ray?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Let's try that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I have this as a picture. Okay. So I have a copy of that. Is this the right front? No, this is a different
You're looking
foot.
at the left front. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the right front. Right front. That's the right front, right?
Yeah, but can you do it on the picture of the foot instead of
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
foot?
will.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look
All
at
right, thank
this.
you.
I'm going to look at this and well, they made it all crooked. So we want to look at what it really looks like here. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, new share. I want to draw it on the X-ray first. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, that's right front. Okay, all right. So I'll keep that right here and I'll go find the picture. Just a minute here. What are you? Okay, so I'm going to go find a picture of the right front, which that's right RL. What's that mean? Oh,
right lateral.
Right. Okay, so that's this foot here, right here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let me get a copy of that.
Look at that ugly foot.
Could be much worse.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second here. I'm going to get the picture of this and a picture of the X-ray. And okay. Open with snag it. Just a minute, because I have to straighten out this picture a little bit here. I don't know why Snagit is not opening. Well, I guess I don't need, oh, there it goes. Okay, copy, paste. Okay. Okay. Darn. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just trying to get each the X-ray and the other picture in so I can look at them together. So it's going to take a second. Okay, let's see. Okay, close that out. Nope. Oh man. Okay, new share. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay,
Wow.
so this is just sidewall here. This is not real heel. Any of this. That's why it'll be hollow in here because her real foot is bent up in here. The back of her foot is going to be much bigger than what you're seeing here. And because the foot is always pulling up this way, that's why you get these rings going like this, because the foot is pulling up that way. See? And that's why it also seems like, look how they get less wide too. You know, of course, that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. So let's see here. Let's mess around with the X-ray. What if we were to come up? Wait a minute. So let's see. Now remember, on a wild horse, the heel is only 1 centimeter, right? So on a pony, what would that be? 1 millimeter?
I don't know, but I'm already thinking I don't have the balls to trim that much hair off. Sorry.
Okay, well, no guts, no glory.
I know.
No guts, no glory. Actually,
you know, I'm not taking it all the way to the Wild Mustang trim.
I'm going to tell you here that there's nothing here. There's nothing there. There's no foot. There's no anything. We're going to look at the sole. See all that dead stuff there?
Yeah.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there. you just don't want to be trimming any of this sole here, because you don't want this foot. You don't want this foot coming through here. You want this is stabilized. You want it to stay that way. The part you want to destabilize is the distortion back here. Okay. So if you're to come on here and just, that's really not very much in reality. Look, we see barefoot trimmers do it all the time. And that's just the truth. See, that was the hard part. Oh, because I cherished this fake wall here as heel. And because I did that, I could never get anywhere. Okay. You know, everything's about boundaries intact. Right. And so the boundaries, this has taken over as heel when it's not heel. Okay. So all this wall stabilizes this distortion and keeps this foot from unbinding back here. Let's just a minute. So I'm going to take a picture of this. Just a minute. Let's see. And then the temptation will want to be to mess with that toe, but I just wouldn't worry about that toe at this time, because see, you need this area up here to pull this forward. It needs that pull up here, because this is going to be pulling back here. And this foot is bent like so. Well, wait a minute. This foot is bent like so. See? Now, the nice thing you have here, you don't have what I had. Look at how nice and straight that hairline is. You don't have a bunch of jamming or nothing. And I think if you take this heel off, false heel, look here, you're still keeping the thickness of the sole here under the toe. See that?
Yeah.
You've got pretty good sole there. Okay, if you do that and then you support the foot to keep it up like this. Okay, so that means you're going to need this much DIM right here. Okay,
so I want to pack it sort of like behind the heel bulbs too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all under in the collateral grooves, it makes an impression.
Right.
In the foot. And so it's a prosthetic. What you're making is a prosthetic to keep this foot up like this.
Now, do I need to put any in the toe?
No.
Okay.
No, it'll just go from about here back. You're just going to fill up this whole area here.
Okay.
See, whatever you're taking out here, you're going to fill up so that, because see, her foot wants to be here. No matter how many times you could trim this down, that pony would want to stand up. And so then, like, she ain't too bad right now. Okay. But then you see the distance between the growth rings here?
Yeah.
They would get shorter and shorter to where they were, just a minute here, to where they were real wide back here and real narrow up there, like that, see?
Well, like sort of down towards the toe, the way they were down there, that way, right?
Yeah.
I was happy when I pulled the cast off and saw that the growth rings were
better.
Yeah.
And part of that is because you're not trimming her heels down. See? If you had been trimming her heels down, this wall would just want to crunch up more that way. Why is that? Because her foot is pulling up out of the capsule and the capsule is pulling forward this way. Okay, so let me undo some of this.
So now I want to trim her heels down.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, does it?
I can wrap my brain around it, but I can't wrap my emotions around it, I guess.
Oh, well, I totally
know what I'm saying?
understand that. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Like
totally,
intellectually, it makes sense to me, but not in some other way that I don't know what the word is.
yeah, I totally understand. It's an aversion almost.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You
But,
can't even-
but even though you're destabilizing this part of the foot, so this part can expand, because as long as it has this, there's too much there for it to pull against. Now, most of the time, they're also full of frog and sole. Okay, so that's binding that foot right there. So the object is, because what do? Don't trim the frog, don't trim the sole, just trim the heels way down and always take the toe back, right? And so when you don't trim the frog or the sole, that works as a binder and a glue to help bind that deformed foot that they are making. And so this foot has had all that frog and all that sole in there, binding it right where it's at. So you're taking that away, but you're replacing it with DIM. See, and because it's going to be supported, but yet the things that are gluing it together in the distortion are going to be pretty much removed, then the foot itself will be freed to expand in the back. So let's look. That's the theory. I know it works because I've seen it work on the pony. I just have not been able to bring it to a full fruition because yourself that this is very labor intensive.
Oh my God.
Oh my God is right. And
that's why I sort of like the cast, because the boots themselves are so labor intensive.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, what a pain in the butt.
Yeah. I just ordered the giant deal of DIM material. Cost me $200.
I know.
I know. But here's the
Me
thing too.
either.
Okay, you can reuse that DIM and just make a new top impression, and you can also grind it down and so that you can keep reusing part of it for this part, so that you're not using a big chunk of DIM every single time. And so what I do is when I trim and everything is changed, I'll just kind of grind out some of what was there, but then I'll take a thinner piece, and I'll impress it on into the collateral grooves in the frog and back, and then I'll smash that other piece up against it.
I lost your sound if you're saying anything.
Okay, there you go. For some reason, I decided to mute myself.
Okay.
I should do that more often. That way I wouldn't make people so upset. So upset that I'm, dissing their best friends in the hoof guru business. Let's see. It's, this is a product, right? Do I have a right to criticize Pepsi? How about Target? Do I have a right to criticize Target? Do I have a right to criticize Walmart? Do I have a right to do any of this stuff? If somebody sells me a faulty product, do I just got to shut my mouth because it might hurt their feelings? Do you understand that hoof care is a product? And this is a business. I don't have a business, but this is a business. Okay. It is a profession.
You've been at this for 6 hours now, Linda.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. So do I have a right to examine the product? Can anybody say yes or no?
Oh, well, of course you do. But again,
Okay.
you're not just talking about the product. People's emotions are involved, so.
Well, yeah, when your horse is being
Yeah.
killed,
Yeah. So
okay, they kill horses, don't they? Does anybody remember that movie?
I do.
Yeah, I remember. Movie had nothing to do with horses.
No, it didn't. I was disappointed.
We're
You
all
know. Um.
okay.
Okay, so let me get a picture here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so you understand here the piece of DIM you're going to have to support all the back of that. Just a minute. Okay, so I did do a picture.
How do you keep the dim on the foot?
It's in the boot. Oh, it's in the boot. Okay, but okay, it's not a perfect system, but I got you need to buy yourself some tiny children's socks.
She's already wearing mine.
Okay. So what I do is I have a very thin sock. Actually, I found a baby sock. After I make the impression, I put a sock and a bag and then another thin sock, and then I go ahead and put the foot in the boot on the DIM material. So it doesn't fit exactly because I've already got all those socks and everything on it. But it's still working. Maybe somebody else will figure out a better way. I don't know. The main reason I think it's working is it keeps the foot elevated up in the air. Everything I have is kind of imperfect, but you're dealing with an imperfect situation. And of course, we're not professionals, right? So,
if we were, we'd be making money.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see. Okay, NESSA 1.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I'm assuming that when I'm rasping this hoof off,
Mm-hmm.
and I honest to God don't know if I'll be able to do as much as you want me to do it first, but I should stop if I see anything that doesn't look dead, essentially.
Well,
right? Anything like this dead sole you're talking about, is it waxy like live sole?
It can be. It can be so compacted
that it seems like it is.
That it can be like that. But you take your thumb, you feel, if you feel it getting soft or you start seeing pink, maybe
screaming,
slow down a little bit. But see, this is nothing in here. See how her foot's wanting to pull up? I mean, her foot is so bent under there and pulled down here. And look there, how her bulbs are squeezed together. You see, this piece of wall here this wall will just keep her bulbs squeezed together.
I can't, did you do a
sorry.
I can't see what you're pointing at.
This one here, her bulbs, her heels are contracted.
Right.
Okay, so her bulbs are squeezed together. Look at that little bulb there, just right up against this other one.
Right.
Okay, so see how this side wall and everything is just pulled in this way? So all this wall will keep her foot from expanding out that way. You want this cartilage and everything to expand out both directions and these bulbs to separate. And this hairline that's pulled down, you want it to come up. See, you want this to come up. When this is all pulled out this way, this is going to come up like that. See,
so when I get done trimming all of this, anything that I'm looking at on the bottom of that foot that looks like the heel to me is not going to be there, right?
Right. None of this will be here. You're going to trim all this out up to here.
Oh my God.
Trim this out and the sidewall.
Okay.
See, there's nothing there. Here, let's look at a sole view. Oh, well, see, there's nothing there. That's not very good. Of course, this is all, see, that's all flaky dead. All this bar, okay, can come out, all of it. And all this sidewall from here, from about here back, you're going to take it up to here. All this.
So all the way up
stuff.
to the collateral groove.
Yeah. Yeah, which the real collateral groove, see, this is bent up into the foot. It's
Okay.
real deep in there, right? You know, just a minute. Yeah. Yeah, this is all gonna come unbound and her foot will relax. See how it's being pushed forward there. If you were to take that toe off, she probably would have difficulty standing.
Okay, so do I remove that periopal too, or do I just let that exfoliate? from
No,
the
you don't need
moisture?
to remove any. Oh,
Okay.
you don't need to remove any of that. And look, she's got a fresh bulb growing here and fresh periopal skin. You don't need to remove any of that.
Okay.
See this here? You just need to take all this off. See, once you the side of that foot, see, I wish that was a better picture. I'm gonna save it and turn it over anyway.
There might be a better soul view, Linda.
Okay, see, this is nothing. This is like, I mean, really, when you look at this, you can really see, uh-oh. Thought I had tick on me. By the way, I'm on 30 days of doxycycline.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, doxycycline, because I'm pretty sure I got Lyme's
Ay,
from getting that trailer.
oh my God.
So I've got 30 days of doxycycline. I found the nicest doctor who would listen to me, right? And so this will be my third Lyme's test because, you know, it doesn't show up for 30 days. You got to have antibodies from your body fighting it off. Well, every joint in my body decided to hurt. Yeah, pretty bad. So anyway, I'll be an experiment because I'm taking doxycycline. Then I added ivermectin on top of that because they did research on ivermectin before the big C. They did research on ivermectin that ivermectin can have a good effect on getting rid of Lyme's. How about that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Just throwing that in there. Okay, so I'm a human. I make myself a human guinea pig. So anyway, so this would be like as if you were able to take a hoof capsule and just practically pull it off the foot and pull the whole foot down, and her heels are bound up under this partial hoof capsule, and that's all fake.
Okay.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's try and find another picture. Well, heck, even if we took this picture here, I want to save image. I'm going to turn it upside down. It's what I want to do. Okay, so like if we were looking, I mean, that's just not her true foot. This is all sidewall that's been pulled around in here from the heels being trimmed out at some point in her life. You know, or maybe since she was a foal, her foot could have been bound up too. And so, you got to take all this off. See, and thin down the frog. Then,
if you're doing something on the screen, I can't see it.
Oh, I was just moving my cursor. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. There you go. That's what I was doing. So you just have to take these heels down. Look, just pretend you're David Landerville. Okay, and you're gonna take this frog way down here, and you're just gonna you're not gonna ramp the heels, of course. You're gonna ramp the whole side.
I'm gonna ramp the whole foot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna ramp the whole from midfoot back. Okay, You're gonna make it look like that wild horse model. All right. But then you're going to prop it back up with the prosthetic. Okay. And as you do that, then it's going to release her bound foot and it's going to expand. I know it will do that.
Okay,
Okay.
I have to keep it moist the whole time, correct?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, did you get, oh, you don't have like a small grinder, do you? You got the Ren, did you say?
No, I can't. I think I have an old, what do they call it? Hoof Boss? You know,
Oh, okay.
I have the old one, but I've never used it on her. I don't know if she'll stand for it or not, but I guess
Okay.
it would be easier if I tried.
Yeah, you might want to get that because another thing I did was I did thin out some wall as well over on the side, but that could be for later. But this will definitely, if you take this out, it'll definitely release her foot as long as you put a prosthetic on her.
Okay.
So anyway,
So if I don't have the nerve to do it all fell swoop, is it a problem if I do it like over a course of 2 trims or something like
I mean, you can do that,
that? Okay.
you
I don't
know.
It'll just depend on what I find when I start getting in there.
Yeah, I understand it's scary. What you're doing, you're just taking off a slice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big
you
one.
could just take a rasp and do it even. Well, probably, yeah. Well, that's probably what you use anyway. I don't know. But just a minute here. New share. Okay. So yeah, this is not real heel anyway. Okay, and this is just binding her foot right here. I'll show you well, see, I haven't been able to get out there to my pony in a week because all the stuff's been going on here and me being, I really had not feeling good, like bad.
Well, you know, if you got Lyme's, no wonder.
Well, I don't know. I'm getting a tick panel, another one done. So if you go to the doctor and you get a tick panel and you're not at least 30 days in, it'll come back negative. Because in order to get a positive, your body has to be fighting it. You have to have antibodies, come to find out. And I was bit by so many ticks. I mean, I told the doctor, I said, hey, maybe they can use my blood. Maybe I'll develop this massive antibody thing and they can use my blood to help others.
There you go.
He laughed at that, you know. He's an older guy. I don't like them young people. I don't like young doctors. You can't get nothing out of them. You know?
I know.
You know?
They don't want to break the laws. Okay,
Well,
so I should do this on just the right foot at first, you think, or
yeah, just do it on one foot for a week. Or you could do it on both, but I like to just start with one, you know, and then once I get that going, do it on another. Because obviously she's surviving on the other foot. This is the worst foot. Let's do it on this foot first. And you'll see how it works. And then, you know, as the foot unfurls, then it'll start growing more sidewall and heel. And, you know, but like I said, don't worry about the toe. Okay, not yet. Okay, that's all I got for you. And yeah, no, I wanted to say that you can't even get antibiotics out of these doctors anymore.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. So, and this doctor at the clinic I went to, where they've just hired 4 more interpreters, okay, because of all the illegal aliens they're shipping in. She said that they won't let you, even like if you have bronchitis now, they won't prescribe you or let you have what is it, prednisone and doxycycline. That's what they used to give standard. They're just not letting people have anything. I don't know what the problem is. So things are getting real weird with these medical clinics. Okay, so
Well,
that's all I have for you, dear.
well, I think I'm in information overload.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's very good, very good. I very much appreciate your time. So, okay, so earlier you had asked me to take some notes for the thing. Where do you want me to send those? You know, the notes on the
Oh, just
webinar.
can you just put them in Messenger and send them to me to Messenger?
can.
Okay.
That will probably be tomorrow. Is that okay? Because I have to go feed
Yeah.
my husband now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, great.
Thank you very much, Linda. I appreciate
Well,
it.
you're sure welcome. Okay, who else has a horse?
Somebody else wanted, I think it was Marilyn, wasn't it?
Well, she might be gone by now.
I think, yeah, I think
I think so, yeah. This has been like a marathon.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Monica, can you hear me? Monica Maslow. I don't think I know Monica.
Yes, yes.
How about Meg? Are you there? Nobody wants to talk to me now. Oh.
I don't know who's still there.
I don't either. They probably fell asleep. They're probably in foreign countries sleeping.
Monica should be there. I see her name.
Hi, Monica.
That was Marion, right?
No.
That's who's talking, yes, but I see that Monica got unmuted, so she should be able to talk.
Oh, Marion, do you know Monica?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. How about you, Marion? How's your horse doing?
The farrier was there this morning and took her shoe off, the other one, because she's missing the front other one since 4 weeks. But he got a new phone and never got my message. So she's now barefoot again, and I got swim diapers yesterday because I really don't want to fiddle around with a plastic bag around her feet. I have not ridden her really in like 7-8 weeks, so I got really spooky and flighty. So now doing hoofs with a plastic bag is probably not the proper solution. So I got swim diapers and tried to keep her hoof moist so that they expand as well.
Okay.
Now with a fresh trim.
Okay. Do you want me to look at her feet?
No, I think everybody is probably ready for dinner.
Okay.
We'll do that next week.
Okay, we can do that next week if you'd like. Okay, well, I guess that's it, people.
Thank you, Linda. Very much appreciate it.
Thank
Hey.
you.
Hey, everybody, have a great week, and you know, God bless you all and keep you safe, and God help us everyone, as Tiny Tim would say.
All right, thank you.
Okay, take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now I got to figure out how to get out of here. Okay. More. All right. Goodbye, YouTube.